So, okay, let's start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kazakhstan American Corners and Regional English Language Office Program English Speaking Workshop. We're really happy to see all of you. I am Saltanat, American Corner Nur-Sultan coordinator and moderator for today. So today we will talk about the collaborative online whiteboards, how to integrate Miro into any online lesson in Kazakhstan. Now, I would like to remind you about some of our rules. Please, first of all, for a stable connection, turn off your microphone when you're not using it. It's very important. Then, if you have any question, you can ask them in chat box or at the end of our meeting during Q&A session, I mean question and answer session. Don't be shy, be active. That's right. And I would like also to notice that this meeting is being recorded. And last one, to receive a certificate, attend at least 3 out of 5 sessions, and then you take it, receive an official certificate. Now, I would like to hand you over to the virtual English language fellow of U.S. Department of State Program, Mr. August Garnsey, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sultanat. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow teachers all across Kazakhstan. I hope everybody is doing well. Everybody's staying safe. Had a nice, productive day today as well. And I really look forward. I'm really excited about this session. Let me go ahead and switch over and share my screen here. Okay. And we will go ahead and begin. Okay. All right. So does everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So that way, again, I am, my name's August Garnsey, and I am the Virtual English Language Fellow here for Nur-Sultan. I'm really excited about being a VELF for this academic year here. I do quite a few different things in and around Nur-Sultan and also Kazakhstan in general. I do teach graduate courses at Eurasian National University and undergraduate courses as well. And I work with English Access Micro Scholarship students, one of the U.S. Department of State's, one of their many programs that they have available for international exchange and collaboration and opportunities. Previously, I was a international English teacher at Nazarbayev Intellectual School in Kazakhstan. So NISH, or as I call it, NIS, okay? And also in the past, just this past year, I was a presenter at the 2019 TESOL International Conference. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just trying to get my screen to go. There we go, okay. I showed this last time. I don't know how many of you are continuing from last time that were with us. We thank you for those for coming again to session number 2 and learning some other new incredible stuff. Again, I've had so much great adventures and experiences in Kazakhstan. And so each session, just like last week and this week and all the weeks going forward for my sessions at American Corner, I really wanted to try to emphasize practicality and actually really show you, not so much tell you how to do things, but I really just want to show you. It's one of the main purposes. There is a difference between teaching you and showing you how to use something. Obviously, we only have about an hour of our time, and the best thing that I can do in an hour is just to show you some of the possibilities. In reality, the possibilities are always endless, and that capacity is up to you as how far you want to explore it in the future. Okay. And again, I mentioned this last week, and it is International Education Week right now. And the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Department of Education, it's a time for celebration for everyone to embrace about international collaboration and opportunities to study abroad, to work abroad. There's many opportunities, and I encourage all of you to seek out through these opportunities that are available to you through the US government or other partnered universities or higher education institutions. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. So our session is collaborative online whiteboards, how to integrate Miro into any online lesson in Kazakhstan. Okay. Okay. All right. So in this session, we're going to learn how to identify what is an online cloud-based collaborative whiteboard tool, how to build a Miro online interactive whiteboard from scratch using the free account option, integrate multimedia into your boards for authentic content and scaffolding, recognize different practical applications of various topics from EL teachers from Kazakhstan. And something special here, we're going to actually have some brief presentations by some of my undergraduate and graduate students' work at Eurasian National University. Okay. All right. So I want to actually start first with a few questions for us, because I feel that I really want us to, in order to embrace Miro and to be receptive about the possibilities in Miro, okay, I really want everyone to first kind of really just think about whiteboards and about collaboration, your past experience, what you know. Let's come up with some information here collectively amongst all of us. And I'm going to want you to provide your responses in the chat to the following questions. Okay. All right. So the very first question, okay. Can everybody see question number one? The question is, what are some pros and cons of using a whiteboard versus PowerPoint in the classroom? And maybe don't have to label this just PowerPoint. Think of it as whiteboard usage versus a presentation tool like PowerPoint or maybe Google Slides or Prezi, whatever the tool is. But just think of whiteboards versus presentation tools. And maybe Saltanat can, maybe you check out the chat and you can read out some of the responses from our participants about what, let's focus on the pros first. Okay, everybody put the pros into the chat.
Sure. First of all, I will ask our participants to temporarily stop to write like another answers about good evening and so on. We will write it a little bit later because it's hard to control it. First of all, yeah, we see your question number one. And let's see the answers. Presentations provide various pictures. Whiteboard are more interactive and immediate. Visual aid for good memorizing. One of the pros is the great visual aid again, live feedback. Whiteboard is easier, as I say. It's interactive. PPT is for passive learning. Animation is possible in PowerPoint, that's right. Pros, interesting, interactive, and easy to use. So I see that some of the answers are the same. It's very useful, virtual whiteboard somehow. August, actually, I can answer like all of them.
Right. So, but that gives us a sample, we'll say, of, I mean, there's a lot of advantages that we know of using whiteboards versus presentation tools. What about disadvantages of using whiteboard? What is a disadvantage versus in comparison to PowerPoint?
Yep. Dear participants, could you please write your answers?
May I say?
Limited space, right? Madivna, could you please write it on the chat?
Yes. One of the disadvantages that some teachers are used to use whiteboards, and it makes teacher more passive, and it's very easy to conduct lessons. Yes, it's one disadvantage. And the second disadvantage is lack of communication from learners, and it is Of course, there are more advantages, but disadvantages are that first, I'm repeating that uh, teachers are becoming more passive because it's easy to conduct lessons.
Okay.
And the second one
Thank
is
you. Sorry.
Yeah. Chat, please. Yeah. Let's put our responses into the chat. We have too many participants for oral communication here. So yeah, we'll just stick to chat, please, going forward.
I hope you will understand. Sorry
Yeah.
for that.
Sorry with it. Yeah.
So let's look to the chart. Internet connection should be always provided. That's right. Someone said that they prefer PPT. Worst quality of online lesson caused by bad connection. Again, with internet, interactive and not ready-made. Disadvantages, it can take more time to fill the task or some other assignments. It depends on the whiteboard quality again. Some students might have difficulties of using the whiteboards. They have technical problems. It may not meet auditory learners' needs.
Okay, yeah, I think that definitely that's, I mean, there's going to be with so many participants here, I mean, and we have such a wealth of experience and knowledge here at this group. I know we have so many things that we could potentially say, but I do want to move on to a couple of the other questions that I have. Maybe just briefly, we could just say into chat, do you think that whiteboard is used less nowadays in English language teaching? And ignore the why part. Let's just go for yes or no answers, and let's just keep it very simple then. But think of in the context of Kazakhstan, not just globally. Let's say in Kazakhstan, do you think it's being used less nowadays? Yes or no? And let's see how many we have in the chat. And Salt, if you can check to see kind of what's the general answer, whether it's yes or no here.
Okay, let's see. Temporary is being the same, like numbers of yes and no, but more yes, I guess.
Okay. So let's say that so most of you will say then potentially that yes, it is being used less nowadays in ELT. Okay. How about in face-to-face learning? What are some ways that the whiteboard is used in the classroom for English language teaching? Okay, so maybe you guys can just put like simple one-worded type of activities or tasks or things that you do using the whiteboard, and maybe we can just pull out a few ideas from our chat.
Just in one words, dear participants. We already answered for the second question. Is a third one?
Yes.
Because I see again the answer was like yes. Speaking feedback. Or exercises where students also can write something, making mind gap maps. Sorry. Then explanation examples, home task.
Бархан деген кафенің алдында тұрмын. Мына жаққа өтіп кетіп қалған.
Some important notes to present the plan of the lesson for doing matching tasks, explaining grammar, explaining again, brainstorming.
Okay, good. So there's some ideas right there of it. So basically, I mean, I just really wanted to, for us just to collectively, since there's so many of us to just share with our past experience, our usage and stuff. And so keep all this in mind now as I introduce and you see the examples. Again, I'm not going to be teaching you so much about how to use Miro, but I want to show you what potentially you could do with Miro, and the rest is going to be up to you. So it's kind of forward. So what is Miro? Okay, so what is Miro? So this is the question that maybe a lot of you are thinking as to, you know, maybe some of you have heard it, but maybe a lot of you actually really have not have heard of Miro. What is it? It's a cloud-based collaborative whiteboard tool. What does that mean? I mean, it has a full set of capabilities. If you want to do video, you want to do chat, you want to do presentations, you want to do sharing, whatever it is to make any kind of cross-functional or cross-communication type of, make it effortless, make it easy to collaborate, okay? It used to be called something different. I'm going to warn you guys, okay? So if you try going online, potentially maybe Googling something, if anything pops up real-time board, Miro was rebranded last year. If you see some called real-time board, that was Miro before. It just changed its name just about a year ago. Now, in the normal free account in Miro, okay, they do have free and paid, just like most things, all these different types of programs or platforms available to us. There's always free and paid accounts. Free accounts, you can have up to 3 different boards used at a time and an unlimited number of editors or viewers you want to have for your board for collaboration. I want to make sure that you do understand that they're actually right now through Miro, there's an option specifically for students and teachers to apply for free paid accounts, okay? So for financial support, hey, we're all teachers, okay? This is good for us, okay? So that ways, they do have an application that you can do. The link I put up on the screen, but you can always just Google, go to Miro Education, and it'll pop up, and that way you can apply there at the site, potentially see if you can get a free account, okay? Or you can just use their basic free account, or you can try to get that free paid account as being a teacher, okay? So those are a few of the basics about Miro, okay? So I do have a little survey that I want everybody to complete here during the session, okay? I'm going to copy and put this link into the chat, okay? Oops. All right, it's coming through, everyone. All right, so that way, I did go ahead and right now, I just put a link into the chat. This link here is going to be to Who Are We? Miro Survey, okay. And basically, and can everybody still see my screen? Do you see the slide? Who are we?
No.
No, okay. One moment. Okay, does everybody see my screen now? Who are we? Miro Survey.
Scan
Yes, we
me.
see. Yes, we can see.
Everybody see the you see it?
We can see only your presentation, but not
Okay.
the form itself.
Oh,
I think you're
okay.
talking about.
Yeah, actually, no, I just want you to see the slide, because there is a QR code. So those of you that have potentially have a newer Samsung phone or an iPhone, you actually can just use your camera for it. But the QR code is there, so you don't have to necessarily use the link. You can just hold your phone up to the screen right now. Okay, but do please complete this survey. This is important because one, we can find out collectively, and I will share the results at the end of the session, who we are. Also, though, importantly for making sure that your name is correct for certificate purposes going forward, you do need to complete this, okay? All right, that way, so we'll come back to that later. So just moving back forward into the, what is Miro, and showing you now the possibilities, okay? So Miro, just take a look here at the screen that you can see right here. Here's an example of a collaboration in the virtual classroom. Picture this, just take a moment, look at what you see on the screen here. Everybody can see what? You see this kind of looks like a frame, it's a screen, like a screenshot of this board. Inside this board, it looks like there's an astronomy lesson. This represents a Miro board. Now, of course, the subject, the context, everything is astronomy. But think about this, okay? So what you see here, you see a lot of information. You see, descriptions or definitions. Over here, you can see, the names of learners, okay, in the classes. You see that you have sticky notes here with their names and with planets on it. And so what you can see here is basically these learners were basically going to the sticky note that had their name on it. They were taking the little, the little planet object, and they were literally moving it into the solar system to place it. What a great way for potentially some type of like a type of assessment to gauge whether or not the students understand about the relationship where the planets are in the solar system. Think about, you think, okay, well, that's nice, astronomy. What about, for English language teaching? What about for other young learners? Think about this. Maybe for young learners, you have a farm. Instead of a map of the galaxy, this is a farm. And you have little images of farm animals. And you want your students to move the farm animals and images to maybe the correct word for revision of vocabulary. Okay, so again, I'm just trying to just show you some possibilities. I'm not trying to tell you how to do it, but just show you these possibilities. Okay, going forward here on the next slide, I just want to show you another possibility. Okay, mind map tool, brainstorming. What an important stage or aspect of our English language lessons. So now in Miro, there's tons of templates. Okay, but there's some of them maybe aren't so necessary for English language teaching, but the mind map, as we mentioned before, when we're going over the questions, yeah, this is important. And this is a great way to go ahead and activate prior knowledge of our learners if we're introducing a new topic or if we're trying to build on a current topic, okay? So again, you can see how its ability to manipulate it, how to change it, how to control it. It's very simple and very easy to use in Miro in your boards, okay? So again, this is just another possibility. Okay. So basically, what I want to do now, I really want to, again, like I mentioned before, I really don't want to just, because we don't have a lot of time, and I know that a lot of you aren't very familiar with Miro, and you're probably thinking the basics, like, how do I sign up for things like that? Well, first off, there's a lot of videos and there are things in YouTube where very short, simple videos can show you how to like sign up for it, how to like set up the basics, buttons to click on, where's the toolbar at, what are the features in the toolbar? Again, I don't really want to teach, I just want to show you how to use it, the possibilities. That's the emphasis, the practicalness of this. So what I've done, okay, excuse me, microphones, so we can mute microphones. I'll hear some background. Make sure, please, everyone, if you can mute your microphones. So basically, what I want to do for us in order to introduce some practical application, potentially something that you could use in your lessons here, whatever grade you teach in Kazakhstan, whatever school you teach. Currently, right now, as a VELF, I am partnered, like I mentioned, with Eurasian National University here in Nur-Sultan. And through my department and my courses that I teach, I've introduced Miro in project work. And I've invited actually a few of my students actually to come in and be able to share with them their project board that they created. Honestly, I think that my students, they are so much more creative than I am, than I possibly could be. And I think that they have some great ideas, again, to show you what they did and the possibilities, what you could do potentially in your Miro board. Okay, and we're going to have various different topics from, we're going to have here one on wild and domestic animals. We're going to have one featuring the adventures of Dora. Okay, we're going to have one that's going to focus on a international theme of all around the world, and also something that may apply even more to like science or their own personal development and healthy lifestyles. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my co-presenters here, who are going to, one at a time, they're going to pull up their Miro boards, which will allow you guys to actually see a real Miro board. And they're just going to briefly walk you through it. And each one's going to take about a few minutes. And if you do have questions, you can put your questions into chat. We'll try to have a Q&A session at the very end as well, too, to address some of those questions if we can't get to it immediately, okay? So again, if you have questions, please, put them into the chat. I'm going to go ahead and start off first. Let's see. So Anar, if you'll be able to kick things off here, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen here and pass it over to you. Okay. All right.
Sorry, I hear any problems with sharing the screen?
Okay. Anar, are you ready to share your screen?
Yeah. Just a minute.
Sure.
I can't. There is one problem here.
Maybe then, Akmaral, if you're ready, maybe you can pull up your board.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Anar, we'll come back to you.
Just a moment, please. So, do you see my screen?
Yes, we are.
So, hello everyone. My name is Akmaral Serikbolova. I am the fourth course student of Eurasian National University on specialty 2 foreign languages. So I'm glad to participate in this workshop. Welcome to our Miro board, which calls the Adventures of Dora and Boots. It is based on the cartoon Adventure of Dora. It is a 23-minute television program for preschoolers viewed by millions every day in many countries. This 7-year-old Latina bilingual cartoon character teaches many things by interacting with the young viewers. On every program, Dora and friends have to go some places to solve a problem. Map is a cartoon character who helps viewers read the map and tells Dora where to go next. That's why we use this cartoon for providing not only useful but also interesting lessons for our learners. Young learners like fun things, character, images, and colorful things. Miro can be used for any age range, especially a very young learner. And Miro is great for keeping young learners focused in the lesson. The aim of using Miro board is to develop thinking, creativity, and teamwork skills. So let's start. We divided our board into 7 activities. Here you can see the first activity.
Yeah.
In this section, learners will be able to find out how to refer to many different types of clothing in English and greatly grow memory. That is, in these assignments, you have to write the name of clothes on sticky notes. So, for instance, like this. So I think that it's clear. So the second activity, find differences. Playing spot the differences in your ESL classroom is an excellent exercise to practice language. Moreover, it is a version of the well-known kids activity that can be used to practice a number of different language topics. The next activity, the third and the fourth activities is 4 pics and 1 word. In this task, learners have to guess the title of cartoons. This game is capable to infatuate you by providing many mysterious and adventurous level that is compromised of its features. With this activity, learners can develop their thinking and writing skills. So here you can again can attach the sticky notes and just write the title of the cartoon. For example, The Adventure of Love. So let's go to the next activity. The 5th task is video task. About hobbies and interests. We include this task because on foreign language teaching video tasks is crucial and useful for students. Learners actually get to see and hear the concept being taught, and they can process it in the same way they process their everyday interactions. And you can notice that it is also possible in Miro. We attached here the video from the YouTube. And the sixth activity is test task. In this activity, learners have to choose the right option to highlight with a Miro board pen, the right option. So like this.
Oh, sorry. Actually, now we see some black screen on the top. Sometimes it appears, sometimes, oh, I'm not sure what is it. Yeah, this one, you're right. Like on the top. Черный экран сверху выставляется, который прикрывает.
Вот это нужно закрыть. Okay, now do you see?
Да.
Okay, thank you. This is the sixth activity. It is the test task. In this activity, learners have to choose the right option to highlight with a Miro board pen the right option, like this. For example, the first one, gymnastics. The second one, music. The third is singing, and so on. The last task, the last activity is choosing option about Halloween. We choose this topic because in that time it was actually. In this activity, you need to quickly write three words for each category. This is an exercise for intelligence, speed of execution, and the development of resourcefulness. To this, we have taken the theme of Halloween, which we celebrate recently. Here, you can also attach the sticky notes like this, and learners need to write their responses. For instance, here we write Mexico. And so on. Here are the ends of Dora's adventure. So I want to give my deepest gratitude to our learner, Mr. August, for the opportunity to use such a cool platform like Miro.
Right. Thank you, Akmaral. So again, so that was a great example of being able to use it for even for young learners. Again, in Miro, everything can be done in real time. All the learners can participate at the same time. So instead of just passive learning, where you post a picture and you have them just one at a time speak, instead you can move from passive learning to more active learning by having them all at the same time post in sticky notes, given everybody has a voice at the same time. Okay? So again, that's the point and benefits to using Miro versus having like a PowerPoint, like discussed earlier. Okay. So always, again, if you're not speaking right now, please mute yourself. Okay.
Sorry, I'm here like some sounds over you. I'm not sure what is it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So always, I would like our next. So it looks like Anar is good to go now. So Anar is going to pull up her board and show us here. So Anar, maybe just like maybe like about.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Kudaybergenova Anar. I'm a master student of Eurasian National University. My specialty is two foreign languages. I'm also an English teacher at school, and I often use this platform in my teaching process. So today I want to demonstrate online lesson on the board Miro. I created this online lesson to develop 4 main skills. The theme of the lesson is domestic and the wild animals. This lesson is for 4th grade level elementary. first activity. It is a presentation about wild and domestic animals. During this stage, we will introduce new material and the vocabulary about animals. We will teach vocabulary words and first of all pronounce them, and have the students repeat them at least 3 times. Students listen, look, and read information about animals. This activity helps to develop reading and listening skills. Next. Second activity is a tic-tac-toe game. It is a video. In this activity, I will show students this video, and they have to guess which animal is drawn. This activity helps develop thinking. And the next activity is Venn diagram. As you know, Venn diagram is when the 2 sorting circles overlap in the middle, and the students need to think about how to sort something according to the rules. Here, they should sort animals in the circles. Then the fourth activity, it is a song about animal. Students listen song about animal, and then they will sing together. It helps improve their listening skill. And the last one, you can see here a picture. First of all, I will ask students simple and open-minded questions for encouraging them speak independently. They should describe these animals. It helps to develop their speaking skills. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Anar, for that demonstration. Just want to mention, so this example here was just a way that you can show usage of multimedia into Miro, and how you can use this for scaffolding to help support the learners, how to engage them in different ways. Okay. There was the videos that were put into. So one, did you guys notice that you can actually embed a PowerPoint into Miro? You don't need to have a PowerPoint and then your Miro. You can actually put your PowerPoint into Miro, like this example was, and then that way you can have everything all at once. You don't have to go anywhere else. And the videos were great. They were sing-along videos. Imagine that. You can just pull up the video and have a sing-along for young learners. Okay, so again, another example, the possibilities are endless. The creativity is up to all of you. We're just showing you some examples here. Okay, next here, let's see. Yeah, we're doing pretty good with time. We have maybe about another 10 minutes or so. So let's see. So Google, if you want to go ahead and take over next, maybe about 4 or 5 minutes here.
Yes, sure. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So perfect. Yes. Good evening, dear participants of the workshop. My name is Bekmagambetova Gulgul. I'm second-year graduate student of Eurasian National University, specialty 2 foreign languages. And now I'm going to present my Miro board, which is called All Around the World. So, this unit includes also grammar, exactly models of obligation. Actually, before I wanted to have an exact copy of what was on the wall, but in a digital platform. So Miro looks like a real whiteboard, but in the browser. So here the icons and navigations are very clear. Moreover, I can zoom out for the top view, and I can zoom in for the more detailed view. As for instance, in the first activity, students have to match the names with the people on the picture. So in order to do this task, on the left side, we have a sidebar, which doesn't take up too much space. And for this task, students can use connection line tool in order to match the names with people on the picture like this. So below we have a task, comment these questions. As for instance, they can use comment tool on the left side, and they can just write their answers. As for instance, discoverers, and the comment to each question. After doing this activity, it smoothly leads to the next one. And the next activity is dedicated to models of obligation. So in the first exercise, students have to put the models to the correct column. And in order to do this type of exercise, they can use text tool and write their answers like this. And they can move it to the appropriate place. Next exercise. So in the next exercise, students are allowed to move modal verbs to its right position. As for instance, you have to wear a seat belt in a car. And in order to confirm their answer, they can lock it, and so no one will be able to change it, or they can unlock it. For example, it's by pressing long. So next activity. Next activity is about situational questions. So in this activity, learners have to answer to the questions using shape or sticky note. It's up to them. So for example, they can use shape tool and answer to this question, for example, just like this. So last but not least, in the last to use any tool from the sidebar. For example, they can use text tool or sticky note, or they can use shape tool in order to write their answers, for example, like this. Generally, I would like to mention that with Miro, I can save a lot of time doing, because navigation, editing items, and interface are very clear here. And it has a nice screen balance and the toolbar. And I would recommend trying Miro to everyone who use physical boards, because it saves time and it helps teachers and learners to be more efficient. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. And I would like to say thank you to Mr. August for this opportunity, and for my teacher, Amsham Kaderevna.
All right, thank you, Google. So, and also I do want to address a few questions just briefly. I saw like in the chat a couple things. Yes, Miro is free. There are paid versions, but Miro is free. You can get up to 3 boards free that you can use. You can make more than 3 boards, but you only can kind of have 3 boards active at one time. You also can actually structure your board to where you can frame, like put a box. So say, for instance, this unit of around the world that was just demonstrated to us, there's a feature in Miro where you can actually, it's called framing, and you can draw like a box around all these activities. And then you can just say, hey, this is maybe lesson 1. And then you can, the space is infinite in Miro. You can keep scrolling until you're, you know, in a different country practically. You can just go forever with it. So just, you can move your board over more, create another frame box. Here's lesson 2 for maybe next week, or here's the next unit for later in the term. You can actually just use one board and you can put multiple lessons and multiple units and multiple classes into the same board. The space is just infinite in Miro. It goes forever. It's an endless whiteboard. Another thing I want to mention about is you can make things turn-based. Some of you are wondering like, well, how do you keep it organized so it doesn't get chaotic? Well, that's going to be up to you and being able to manage it through your experience and learning what works best for your learners. Obviously, young learners, it may be kind of disorganized potentially, depending on the how you're managing things, but maybe for older learners, you know, secondary school, higher education, you know, you may not have such issues. It is cloud-based, it saves automatically. So, and also the context to set the task, it's up to you how you want to set the context in the beginning. Infinite opportunities, again, however you want to incorporate multimedia, you want to post text, you want to post video, you want to post audio clips, that's up to you for the context to set for whatever it is that you're covering. I do want to have a general Q&A session. I do have one more board. Maybe that way we can just do a very quick demonstration. So that way, Alton Sash, maybe just a couple minutes, okay? Maybe like just 2 minutes, just briefly show us the board and the idea that you did. And then that way we'll get into Q&A, and I have a feedback form as well.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Qasem-Jomart Altanshas, and I'm a master student at Eurasian National University of Foreign Languages Department. So here how my board looks like, it's called Healthy Lifestyle. So here in my mini demo lesson, I have 3 activities. So these activities are all based on speaking activities. So here in the first task, students watch the video, and this is kind of a brainstorming. So here students activate their existing knowledge, and here they write words which are related to healthy lifestyle, words and phrases. So the next activity is like this. Here, students should decide these activities, if they are good habits or bad habits. So they just stick the notes in the right column, the correct. And these 2 activities smoothly lead to the main, let's say, to the desert of our activities. So here it is, the speaking activity. Here we should use also online dice roller, you see. So students roll their dice, and then on the top is the first one. The second determinant is on the left. So you see, if you dice the roll as 3 and 4, for example, students have a question, name 5 steps to a healthy lifestyle. So in this way, they answer these questions. So this is a great whiteboard for a collaborative work. I advise you to use this. I'm sure your students will like it. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Thank you, Alton Sash, for the abbreviated.
It was really short, yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Again, our job, we just want to share possibilities. We're not trying to teach you. This is a very new type of program in the application of education. If you ask 50 teachers in Kazakhstan, I think maybe only a couple of us have ever even heard of Miro. But believe me, through this whole pandemic experience, we have honestly become more familiar with Zoom, whether we were before or not, you know, Microsoft Teams, you know, using all these other platforms. Let me tell you, next year, because we don't know what's going to happen. And well, the way things are looking kind of now with restrictions, potentially we're going for another round maybe of online learning. How are we going to prepare? How are we going to make our online lessons better? We need to get more active in our lessons with our learners. So that way Miro could be the future coming up next year. This year, we're talking about what online platform are you using? How are you organizing, you know, your topics, your tasks? Next year, it could be about collaborative work. Now, how are we going to do this? Okay. I want to actually share one more thing, a survey for feedback. Let me actually go ahead and post into the chat, okay, to everyone. Okay. I have a survey here, and basically with this survey, it's in the chat right now. It's just a simple 3, 2, 1 exit ticket, similar to like what we had last week. I just want to hear a little bit about maybe what you got, what you learned, what kind of questions you still have going forward. So please, everyone, please complete that survey. The link is in the chat right now. And Sultanat, did you want to mention about for process for coming up next session?
Yes, sure. And I would like to translate what we said here. Maybe someone didn't understand in English. It will be easy in Russian because it's important to take feedback. So, уважаемые участники, сейчас мистер Август отправил ссылку, где вам нужно заполнить вашу обратную связь о сегодняшней встрече. That's all about feedbacks. And now I would like to share my screen to show you our YouTube channel, because there is a lot of question about the previous meeting, a previous session. Yeah, we recorded all of our sessions, all 4 of them, and you can find it, today's and previous one, on our YouTube channel. Let me show you. It calls Kazakhstan American Corners. And here our first video from previous session. Do you see it? I mean, this one. The same will be for the today's session. Another thing to mention is registration. So today we have like 300 people, more than 300 actually. Thank you so much for joining. And we had a lot of questions in our social medias and personally in WhatsApp, how to do a registration. We will have separate registration for all of the sessions. So it's very important to follow our social medias and look through your Gmail. We will send you new link for the next session. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have a few other words too to share. So I mentioned earlier about the survey that you guys took. About halfway through, I had you guys ask you to fill out a form. I just kind of wanted just to show you quickly these results here as well. So let me just quickly share that here. The who are we? Okay. All right. Can everybody see the form, the who are we form?
Yes.
Okay. So again, collectively, you know, where were we at before this workshop? Well, based on 168 responses from our participants, which is about half of them. So there's a lot more of you, please, you know, that you can do this session, okay, for this survey. I can post the link again here in a moment, but half of you never actually even heard of Miro before, and a large portion of you basically had little to no previous knowledge. So that covers almost most of us. Like I thought is that, you know, I hope that this kind of just opened your eyes, maybe potentially broaden your perspective about, you know, online learning. There's a lot more to it. We don't have to be stuck with, you know, it's online learning, it's difficult. You know, I'm not sure, how do we get things how do we move from passive learning to active learning? I hope that we shared that. We had a very, very diverse group here. I can see where people come from. You know, we have a lot of different, regions all across Kazakhstan being represented here, which is very nice. And about how many years experience? We have a wealth of knowledge collectively in this group. We have a lot of teachers that have more than a decade of experience and a lot of teachers that have 1 or less years of experience. So, really such a diverse group that, you know, there's a lot of great questions. But I just wanted to basically just kind of quickly share that. And also let me go ahead and pull up, for those that didn't get last time, my email as well, because we're getting closer, almost out of time. So again, the link for that 321, I call it exit ticket, is the type of kind of, you know, survey that I just provided to you. I put into the chat. Again, it's 3 things you learned about today, 2 things you found interesting, 1 thing that you still have a question about. Please, really, if you can provide information, and it can help me as well going forward to kind of gauge and understand about, you know, what are the possibilities still with using Miro in Kazakhstan, and how this can maybe have an impact across the country in English language teaching or education in general. My email, can everybody see the screen of my email?
Yes.
It's august.garnsey@gmail.com. Feel free, everyone. Again, we're all in this together. We're all educators. We're all teachers, no matter where you teach at, what level you teach at, pre-service, experienced professional. You know, we all have to come together to figure out new ways for online teaching and how we can help make this experience not just better for our learners, of course, our focus, but for us as well, how we can make this easier on ourselves, how we can collaborate together, teacher to teacher engagement, how we can actually conduct professional development sessions within our own departments using Miro, not just for lessons, even for professional development. There's so many possibilities with Miro. But if you guys have questions, I know you will have a lot of questions. We only could cover so much in 1 hour. This was basically just the tip of the iceberg. But again, you know, reach out to me through email, ask me questions. I'll do my best to follow up with you about that. I'll put the survey from earlier on, the who are we? Okay, that's important for your name for the certificate purposes. I need everybody to fill that one out, make sure we get everybody's name correct and everything for the certificate. So please, I'll put that link right now into the chat again. But thank you everybody, really so much. I really appreciate everybody's time tonight, all your dedication and your patience in trying to listen to this information overload about Miro. I know it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I know it was a lot of information, but I hope that you see some new possibilities, that online learning, there's hope on the horizon with online learning. I know that some of you are frustrated with what you can do in a lesson. I hope this is gonna open up some new doors for you. Okay, so other than that, Sultanat, did you have anything else you wanna share? I'm gonna put the link for the Who Are We survey from earlier on. I'm gonna put that one also into the chat again right now. So it's a little more recent here.
Yeah, thank you. I see a lot of thank words in our chat. I would like to thank you too, Mr. August, and ladies, girls from Eurasian National University, to give such a great examples. It was incredibly useful. Yeah, you're right. It's very important to be together, to support each other during the pandemic time. Sharing your knowledges with each other. It's very important. Thank you so much. I would like to again translate my words about registration because it's really important. Again, уважаемые участники, я вижу снова вопросы в чате по поводу регистрации. Будет ли отправлена ссылка? У нас более 700 зарегистрированных участников, и почта немного перегружена на данный момент. Поэтому я посоветовала бы вам следовать, то есть подписываться на наши социальные сети и действовать напрямую, заходить в социальные сети, пользоваться топ-линком в био в Инстаграме, допустим, и регистрироваться самостоятельно. Вам автоматически приходит ответ с ссылкой на Zoom. Также будет работать на третью ссылку. That's all from my side. Thank you.
And on Facebook, will there be a link on Facebook?
Yeah, we'll double it on Facebook and VK. Thank you.
Извините, вопрос. Какая ссылка, вот которая здесь, да?
Ссылка на регистрацию на третью сессию будет обновлена позже, на следующей неделе. Ссылки, которые сейчас отправляет мистер Август, это для обратной связи с вашей стороны. I think that's all. Yeah, right. We can end our session.
Thank you, everyone, very much. You know, really such a pleasure to be able to collaborate again. You know, the benefits of international collaboration for me to work with educators in Kazakhstan. Again, the many opportunities through the U.S. government, through reload programs at U.S. Embassy of Kazakhstan. Again, you know, I'm here to work together with others, and we can solve a lot of issues in education in Kazakhstan. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good night. It's morning time. I got a lot of work to do right now, so I got a whole day ahead of me here in Florida.
Thank you, August. Thank you, Sultanat. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
For joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.